It's only one. Moz.
Do we have the leadership to back with the Philly and even in Dallas, so to speak,
Dallas
right now?
this year. Yeah.
So that's where I question their success this year.
Right.
Next couple of years, that leadership stays solidified, that quarterback stays solidified. I've got some promise in there, but
yes, sir.
I don't know about this year.
Yeah, but definitely, man, we were definitely going to keep, on track. We're going to be talking more and more about sports as the NFL, season gets closer. But yeah, man, tune into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast with your brother, Old God, and Sam, man. I want to talk about Meek, man, because Meek, him and Jay-Z put up a video the other day, and it showed them pretty much coming to an agreement of a joint partnership between Rocnation and Dream Chasers. I'm going to play this quick video for the family. We're going to talk about this.
Situation that was a negative thing into something positive, right? So everything that he's done leading up to this point to show that we can carry that weight that for the next generation of people.
So that's Jay-Z, and Meek Mill actually put up a post on his IG to announce this, and he put official joint venture label, Black entrepreneur. Nobody did us no favors. Nobody gave us shit. We made us whole. We all know that. Famous, quote from one of Jay-Z songs back in the day. But what do you think about this, SamAnt, when you first seen this, Meek Mill and Jay-Z officially announcing a joint partnership between Rocnation and now Dream Chasers? What's your thoughts?
One of many joint ventures that Meek Mill has with Jay-Z. We've seen Jay-Z kind of align himself very tightly, not to say that they weren't tight prior to, but very tightly when it seemed like Meek Mill, or when Meek Mill was being just unjustly treated behind bars for convictions that never should have been there. And when we heard the outcry and everybody was screaming free Meek, Jay-Z and Beyonce were two of the loudest screaming free Meek. They even had that record with Future
Top Off
on Khaled, and they were screaming free Meek on that joint. And it seemed like he was really trying to align himself in it there. So I don't know if the conversation got very personal, but it seemed like, all right, this brother is at $1 billion right now. I'm a man trying to get there. Let me align myself with that as closely as I possibly can. Now, a lot of people, because as positive as we talk about Meek, and in the very minimal times I look at the comment section nowadays, there's always some kind of naysay when it comes toward Meek Mill. Oh, this isn't genuine. Oh, this is fake. Oh, this. What do you think about that?
It's one thing for people to look at it and just be hating, but there's one thing for people to have some legitimate concerns, about, and maybe this has nothing to do with Meek Mill or anything, but a lot of people, are talking about Rocnation and just some of the people that Jay-Z is in line with. Now, personally, I don't think that's going to affect Meek Mill as far as him, because with the structure that they're setting up, is pretty much it's a joint partnership, but the structure is, Meek's, going to be the head of the, he's going to be able to sign his own artists, record their own stuff, distribute their own music, just under the umbrella of the whole thing. So even though it looked like he was saying that Dream Chasers was a label before, we seen the logo, they didn't have a structure set up. So he's going underneath Rocnation, who's supposed to be this, pretty much like a management company that's going to help artists, structure contracts the right way, help them manage money, just the whole, hub for things like that is what Jay-Z came in, thus title and different things like that. So I think it's a power move. Ultimately, I don't agree with some of the things that happened with Rocnation. There's videos we done on it and all that, and people, but hey, that's not my company. But when you talk about music, when you talk about signing talent, that's what Jay-Z's in the business of doing. This is what he, look at the people that's underneath Jay-Z that came underneath Rihanna. We can go on and on, but a lot of people ask, where's Rick Ross? He put out a statement, congratulating Meek and Jay, and I think that from what I read, that he's still obviously going to be partnered up with Maybach Music and Rick Ross, but he's just going to be another venture. Like, you can have multiple partners and multiple different things. So I think it's a good thing. The naysayers, I don't know. I can't say that Meek sold his soul or anything like that. I just think that, people just be talking when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah, people try to find reason for Black people to be successful. They love to find reasons for black people to be successful. We either doing something wild or this or that, and this is the reason why we got successful. And some people just work hard and grind. I was going to ask you, but then I was thinking about Rick Ross because he definitely took the high road, and I'm happy for him. And you got to have a certain graduation point when it comes to certain relationships. It's not that them two aren't cool, but it's like, all right, I fulfilled my album obligation. I did what I'm had to do. Now I've earned the right to be able to properly distribute. Let me do that, just like you did when you did your albums, and you have the right to properly distribute MMG and threw me under Wale and myself and the other artists that he had, Omarion, and I know he had another rapper. I can't name it. Starley. Yeah, you know what I mean? So did the same thing. He's kind of following that suit. That's good. Does success have does the negativity and negative connotation that Jay-Z takes on, and I don't even think he sees it, and there's a lot online and little things like that, does that come with the territory of success? Should people just that become successful just expect this kind of negativity? Because even like, all right, I think about Kevin Hart, what he talked about, like everybody loved Kevin Hart doing this thing, but the second he got to a certain level of status of success, money wise, he started receiving kind of crazy criticism. Do you think that just comes with the territory of success? Do you think it's fair? It
comes with it, but a lot of people like to tie Jay-Z in with the feds. They said they think that he may be a fed. Now this goes all the way back from the time where he had Desiree Perez, who right now I think is, one of the heads of Rocnation, where she wore a wire, you know what I mean, to take down a Colombian drug cartel. And then it also goes back to the Jay Prince, to Dame Dash. And then Dame was talking about, and another guy was talking about that Jay-Z may have known, and Rockefeller was the only one that wasn't touched when the feds came in. Jay Prince, a few other people. I can't remember. Irv Gotti, Suge Knight, and a few other people. And then that's the thing, they like to tie to Jay-Z and say that he's this, but I don't know how, it is sketchy. It's definitely sketchy, but you can't say that Jay-Z knew about it. And the reason why they didn't go after him as heavy is because he was tied in with him. You can't say that. That's what people are running with. One of the things that they're running with Jay-Z, and they say he's connected. But here's what I'll say. I will say that I know, and I think that Jay-Z just made the right investments, worked hard, and was very smart with what he did moving throughout the game. I don't think that his success came from the fact that he set people up or got people taken out and different things like that. I'll say I definitely disagree with that. I just think he is great at what he does, and he kept multiplying, he kept flipping, he kept doing different business ventures, as the portfolio shows what he's been doing. And that's where he's at, where he's at now, not because he sold his soul to some crazy stuff. I don't buy none of that. Yeah, now they were I was talking to during my vacation a banker. He handles a lot of high price accounts and things like that. And we were getting into investments. Right. And I was asking him, because it seemed like anything that if you really want to make money in investments, how we were rapping and talking, it's like, all right, your pharmaceuticals, you're this, you're that. But there's a certain moral code that gets crossed when you start getting into these real high priced investments and things that go on within it. Obviously, we know. And I think that I was asking him, is there a moral code to it? Can you be moral and still stick to your conviction and still invest and be successful? And he said, yes, absolutely. I think a lot of the criticism, I say all that because maybe some of the certain investments that he found himself kind of diving into may have crossed a certain moral code to some people, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. I think it was a drug dealer. And make money. I mean, you feel me? He started off being a drug dealer. So I don't give a fuck about a pharmaceutical or this or that. Or selling liquor, right? Put his money where it need to go to flip it and make it quicker. And does that mean he's destroying our people? One could argue, but when you give back as much as he's also having what he's doing, how can you argue? I mean, the two, I don't know. Maybe he balances it out, but I'm not going to give criticism when this man had made $1 billion, watched him grow, watched him hustle, go from a drug dealer, like you said, to $1 billion. I ain't going. I mean, he did. I think in his industry, I think he created, the best possible, infrastructure what he could do as far as with Tidal, different record labels. Like he tried with Rockefeller, but he kind of, that disbanded, went apart, and then he kind of came back with Rocnation. So he never kind of went off the path. He just got better and more innovative in the way he did things. And you see it now with him bringing people underneath him, like Meek Mill. We always, before this whole merger, we talked about how we seen Meek Mill going down the hole. And I'm sure if people go and listen to the old podcast, they could see and hear us saying that we seen Meek probably was going to go down the whole same road as Jay-Z with investments and different things. And, even his music and how he's maturing and the fact that they're in the criminal justice reform and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm not going to hate, man. I'm super excited for Meek Mill. For real, knowing we seen where he came from the same area that we come from. virtually. It's I'm happy to see that man, go all the way. I want to see him become a billionaire, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, we've seen him and remember him when he had Dusty Cornrows freestyling.
That's a fact.
And that's real.
Yeah.
So, and we watched that whole growth and development. So nothing but love and respect for Meek Mill, man. We give criticism where criticism is due, but there's none here, man. Keep grinding, keep rising, keep doing anything.
Rick Ross should be, or is he salty? Do you believe that? Or do you think he should be happy that Meek Mill pretty much is moving on to bigger and better things?
I genuinely believe he's happy for him.
Definitely.
I genuinely believe he's happy for him. I don't believe there's any hate involved, any malice. I don't know Rick Ross, never met Rick Ross, but I could just kind of go from a vibe from afar to go, no, that man ain't going to hate or worry about what's on another man's plate. Meek Mill didn't deceive him anyway. He didn't back cross or double cross him in the business move that he made.
Mm-hmm.
He fulfilled his album obligation, be able to gain distribution. You're sitting with Jay-Z. He's already in the criminal reform with Jay-Z. Jay-Z helped him here. Rick Ross and Jay-Z have a relationship. No, I don't think there's any ill feeling at all.
Yeah, definitely. I think, it served its purpose. Rick Ross, served as a springboard to get them where they're at, and Meek Mill's going on to bigger and better things. So shout out to all of them. And at the end of the day, they all millionaires and they all making good money. So ain't nothing to really, you know what I'm saying? They all eating.
Yeah, if the plates are all full, your team is full, then let's eat.
Yes, sir.
But let me say this real quick before we jump to the next segment. Ain't nobody give Meek Mill shit. Ain't nobody give Rick Ross shit.
Nah.
Yeah, they're going to provide opportunity for you to eat, but it's your opportunity once you grab that plate to go ahead and put stuff on there and eat. It's not my obligation to put the food on there. I just gave you the plate.
Right.
And that's all you can ask for. I'm glad that they putting that food on their plate and doing their thing as young black king. I'm very excited for all of them.
Definitely. I guess we do get to jump into the whole Rick Ross one. Yeah, it
makes perfect sense now, man. So yeah, man, Rick Ross, we're talking about it a couple of days ago. I brought it to your attention that he has an album dropping, Port of Miami 2, August 9th. We both agreed that we're excited as hell about that.
Sure.
We're hearing, because he had a little bit of, I guess,